Welcome everyone to Eat Well, Live Well. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Susan.
Yay! And we are in season 1, second series with Healthy Breakfast.
Right.
And episode 2.
That's a lot to keep up with.
Oh my gosh, it's too much. It's too much, really.
We may need to start putting little note cards up there for ourselves.
Yes. Just like our food, we are homegrown. Well, we don't actually grow our own food, but you know, we're the basics, and we're organic. That's what we'll say. Yes.
We are very organic.
And this series we are building upon, like everything is kind of building upon, as I mentioned in our earlier episode, of balancing our blood sugar, sustaining our energy, and really getting enough protein. Eating a healthy breakfast really means getting a good combination of protein, fats, and carbohydrates.
Yes.
And it really is important. You know, a lot of people were like, I'm fine with my muffin or my Danish and my coffee. Those are very empty calories. They're empty, there's no nutrients. They can actually leach out vitamins and minerals, and they don't sustain you throughout the day. Right. So we want to sustain you. We also want to make sure you're getting enough of protein throughout the day. Most women, I say this all the time, I know you agree with me.
Yes, I do.
Do not consume enough protein. And this is whether you are plant-based, vegan, or not.
Right.
So when you can know how much protein you're supposed to get and kind of spread that out throughout the day, then you're almost, you have such a better shot of getting all that you need instead of waiting till lunch or your last meal of the day.
Yes, and you don't have all the blood sugar crashes where you feel terrible and you want to grab for something.
Right.
Or to go through that drive-through that you know is not really the best thing for you. Right?
Exactly. And ladies, we need our protein because
Yes, we do.
as we age, we're losing muscle, and protein is key to building muscle. So, and muscle is considered the organ of longevity.
Oh,
So,
I like that.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to build our muscle up.
What? Thank you for all that great information, Nancy.
Yes.
Okay.
What do we have today?
Oh my goodness. We are making a Quinoa Chia Breakfast Bowl.
Yum.
Okay, so I want you to talk about quinoa. The first thing that I want to say about it is you have to use a fine mesh sifter when you're rinsing it, and you do rinse the quinoa to get off all the seeds, like the powdery things that you just don't want in the actual quinoa once you cook it. So make sure that it is a fine mesh sifter.
Because it'll go right through.
Oh yeah, it'll just like, you'll be like, why is that in my sink? Okay, so there you go. And I've already prepared as the instructions, the quinoa, so you can see it here. And I use the tricolor one because I kind of like it to be fun, you know. So let's talk about quinoa.
Yeah, I love quinoa. First, like we already talked about, like it doesn't look like how you're going to pronounce it. Everyone's like, what? How do you say that? But I think the main thing with quinoa is most people think of it for dinner, maybe for lunch. But it really is a fantastic alternative for your breakfast. You can replace oat recipes with quinoa. You can add it into like yogurt recipes. And the main thing about quinoa, we talked about this in the other one, is it contains all 9 essential amino acids. And if you missed our first one, go back and watch. All the essential amino acids are the ones our body cannot produce. So it's essential that we get them from our food. So quinoa does that. Also a fantastic source of fiber and delicious.
Yes. And it keeps you satisfied and full. That's what I like about quinoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the pan here, I'm going to add first I'm going to add the flax seeds. And we talked a little bit about flax seeds earlier. Is there something else you want to add about flax seeds?
No, they are great for hormone balance. They have an antioxidant that is actually linked to helping with our hormone balance.
And actually when you do this and you're adding all of this, you would actually do it on the stove right after it's cooked, okay? Yeah. It's kind of hard, but I don't want to put my back to you guys. So then to that, you're going to add the plant-based vegan protein, which we talked about that too.
Yeah, and again, so I just want to jump in
Sure.
here. A lot of people with plant-powered protein. They're like, I don't want to use so much protein powder, things like that. You don't have to add it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can do without. We like to add it. It boosts up that protein number for us, but it's always up to you. And there's a whole lot of different types out there. There's some that are made with soy, pea, brown rice, hemp, you know, so find what works for you. And, you know, we use different ones. Feel free to ask us which ones. We'll put our links below what we use, but find what works for you, and know if you are cutting out on protein powder, you don't have to use it.
Right. To that, I'm going to add soy milk.
Yeah, which we talked about. Again, you can use any plant-based milk that works for you. We like soy, again, because ups that protein.
Yes. And then to that, I like it because it's cacao powder, and I like pretty much anything that's chocolate.
Yeah.
So, but cacao has some beneficial factors to it also. So tell us about cacao.
Yeah, so first, what I want to talk about is what the heck is the difference between cacao and cocoa powder? Do you know?
No.
All right, so basically, cacao is in its raw, unprocessed state. Cocoa has been processed. So it's not that necessarily one is better or worse, a little bit. Cacao does have more nutrients to it, but cocoa isn't bad. Where it comes down to is cacao can be a little bit more bitter than cocoa, but it has more health benefits because it's not processed. So you just want to kind of find, some people I know will do a mix. They're like, as they're learning to move away, I'll just do that, from cocoa and try to go into cacao, they'll start like mixing it in so that it's, you know, more palatable. And they can adjust to it.
So after you've added all of that to the quinoa, you would just cook it for about 5 minutes, and then it would be ready for you to top. Okay, and now look, we have our finished product here. All
Delicious.
Right? Yes. And so to that, we're gonna top it with some chia seeds, which you've already talked about chia seeds before, so we're gonna top it with that. And then, well, we're gonna do blackberries and blueberries, but since we're gonna be a taste test, I'm gonna cut this in half. And do you have any other information that you wanna?
Well, one, you can top with any of your favorite berries. You can add in bananas, berries, nuts. I mean, have at it. Do whatever you want. Make this a great hearty breakfast. Another thing I did want to say about cacao is that it is great for stress relieving and also for your mood, enhancing your mood. So
that must be why I love it so much. All right, let's take a taste test here.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of everything.
Which berry are you getting?
I'm getting both berries, girl.
She's so
I want them both.
Cheers.
That's really good.
This
Yummy.
is delicious. So Susan, could you make this in bulk? Like, could you make more than one and kind of store it?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. And look at these cute little bowls that I found. I do a lot of this pre-made breakfast because it's easier for me. Once I come home from the gym, I can just take it out of the fridge and it's ready to go.
Oh, that's adorable.
Aren't they adorable?
Much prettier than the bowls I use.
I like pretty. That I do. I like to make things pretty. So.
I love it. That's delicious. So this would be great for make ahead. Have, you know, divide them up and you're on the go. Boom. You can take it with you. You can eat it at home quickly. And again, breakfast doesn't always have to be breakfast.
Yes.
You can eat it in the afternoon for lunch. You can have it for a snack later on.
And this can be either hot or cold. Just so you know, I think it tastes great both ways.
Yeah, this is delicious.
Yeah.
We're eating it cold.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for episode 2 of this series. Thank you.
See you next time.